What's up, everybody? Justin here to do another countdown video. Top 5 countdown this time. Top 5 worst debuts in WCW. Or top 5 worst debuts in wrestling, including WWF and WCW. And I say WWF because 2 of the guys on this list worked for WWF when they were still WWF. So here we go with my top 5 worst debuts in wrestling, basically. Number 5. It was goofy as hell. It was cartoonish. It was weird. It was odd. I mean, it was not good. It was a joke. It's amazing that this guy actually made a huge career and made himself a huge name in wrestling. Everybody knows who he is. And he's part of one of the greatest, most legendary factions of all time, the NWO. So it's amazing this guy got shitty gimmick after shitty gimmick in WCW. First, he got a gimmick where he's part of the Master Blasters. Yes, that was the name of their tag team. I don't remember both of their names, but Kevin Nash was part of the Master Blasters in '89. And that gimmick was shit. He had his head shaved on the side. He had a mohawk. His skin was like painted brown. It was weird. I don't even know what the hell the Master Blasters were supposed to be. I don't know what they're supposed to be in it. If you hear some background noise, like a machine running, that's because I do have a machine running. I have my PlayStation on. I have a baseball game. MLB The Show is on pause. So that's what you hear in the background. So, number 5 would be one of Kevin Nash's worst gimmicks. Most goofy. I can't believe it didn't kill his career. And then after the Master Blasters, yes, number 5 is Oz. One of the worst debuts ever. I believe his debut was at least his pay-per-view debut was at Super Brawl 91. Super Brawl 91 was when I first saw Oz. They do a grand entrance for his Oz character. An obvious ripoff of the Wizard of Oz. They had a castle on the stage. They had pyro go off. It was ridiculous. But it was 1991. There was some really ridiculous bad gimmicks in 91. And 90% of them were from WCW. WWF had some bad ones too, but they weren't that bad as WCW's. So number 5 worst debuts would have to be Oz, a.k.a. Kevin Nash. I don't blame Kevin Nash. He was just doing a job, but that gimmick was awful. And then after Oz, he got Vinny Vegas, which wasn't that much better. Thank God he went to WWF and got himself over as Diesel. And also the company, the WWF and Vince and Shawn Michaels, they also really helped get Diesel over as a character. So, number 5 is Oz. Because that was one of the worst debuts I can remember in wrestling. Number 4 would be another gimmick that was Kevin Nash's, but he went to WCW and it was played by Kane. Fake Diesel. The fake Diesel was actually played by Kane, Glenn Jacobs. Nothing against Kane. The guy's a good worker in '96, but his gimmick was stupid as hell, and it was one of the worst debuts to bring out a fake Diesel when every fan on planet Earth, every fan of the WWF in '96, everybody knew it wasn't Kevin Nash, and it was a fake Diesel that wasn't as good as Kevin Nash. No disrespect to Kane playing fake Diesel, but Kane was not as good as Kevin Nash was in '96 to be playing fake Diesel. And also Kane wasn't as good as Diesel was in '93, '94, '95. So number 3 worst debuts would also be another ripoff of a guy that left WWF in '96, went to WCW, Scott Hall. Well, number 3 would be the fake Razor Ramon. It was bad. Nothing against the guy that played the fake Razor. Nothing against him. I don't have any hate towards him. It's not his fault. He was picked to play that character because WWF still owned the Diesel and Razor Ramon character, so I guess they thought they would use him. It was stupid, and it was dumb, and it was weird, and it was kind of pathetic because WCW was on fire, kicking your ass with the NWO storyline. And then you decide to bring out a fake Diesel and fake Razor. Did you think that was going to compete with what WCW was doing with the NWO? That was not going to compete. It was dumb as hell. So, fake Razor, number 3, worst debuts. I don't know when he debuted. I don't care. Number 2, absolutely one of the worst debuts and probably one of the most funniest. Number 2 would be the Shockmaster in WCW. He's gonna shock you. As Sting and Davey Boy Smith on a Flair for the Gold. And Sid was there with, I believe, Booker T and Vader. And Sting said, "We got a partner for War Games and he is going to shock you." And then the pyro went off and the Shockmaster fell through a wall. Fell through a very cheap wall. I'm sure it was drywall. Shockmaster makes his debut, falls through a wall, trips over a giant 2x4. I don't know what dumbass put a 2x4 at the bottom of the wall that he could trip over. Someone, I think, did that on purpose, but that's another story or conspiracy theory. But why the fuck was a 2x4 at the bottom of the wall that he couldn't see, obviously, and he tripped over? I felt bad for him. Shockmaster in real life, Tugboat, I forget the guy's name, but he's a really nice guy. Seems like a really nice guy. On the Edge and Christian show, they actually brought the Shockmaster back. That was pretty damn funny, and I enjoyed that. So he trips over a 2x4, goes through the wall, falls on his face. His helmet, Shockmaster helmet, falls off. He has to pick it up, put it back on, then he has to stand there like he's still a badass character. Or like the fans are still going to care about him debuting after his helmet fell off and he tripped and looked like an ass. Again, not his fault that he tripped and fell. Not his fault. But, my God, it was not just a goofy-ass character, and not just a funny-ass debut, but no fans were going to get behind the Shockmaster after that happened. His character, his gimmick as a Shockmaster was dead and buried after that. And still, when I see that footage of him falling through the wall, I still laugh my ass off. That will never stop being funny every time I see it. So, number 1, worst debut out of this top 5 worst debuts is from WCW Clash of the Champions 7. If you want to watch it on the network, it's Clash of Champions 7 from June 1989. Number 1 worst debut ever. In my opinion, it is the absolute worst debut ever. The Ding Dongs. Tag team the Ding Dongs. I believe Jim Herd came up with, because he was the president of WCW in '89. So I believe Jim Herd did come up with it. The Ding Dongs were god awful. I don't know what the fuck they were. They're wearing masks and orange bodysuits. Orange fucking bodysuits that were way too tight. And then they had wrestling trunks over their fucking bodysuits, which made them look more ridiculous and more like a joke. And the fans, even in 1989, the fans were not gonna fucking ever cheer them or get behind them or even look at them as a serious heels or baby faces. I don't know what the fuck Jim Herd or WCW thought. That the Ding Dongs were gonna get cheered? No, they weren't. They were looked at as a fucking joke, and they're pathetic. Thankfully, the Ding Dongs never appeared on another WCW Clash of Champions or a pay-per-view. So, thank God, the Ding Dongs only appeared at Clash of Champions 7. But they were the absolutely worst debut. They came out, made their debut. They had some goofy-ass circus music playing for their entrance. And the fans didn't give a fuck when they came out. And they were trying to clap the fans and slap hands. They were coming out like this, looking like two fucking retards in orange bodysuits. And then that goofy-ass circus music was playing. I don't know what the hell kind of theme that was, but it was circus music or baby kindergarten music. I don't know what it was. But it was so awful. The fans saw them. They were probably like this. What the fuck is the Ding Dongs? And who the fuck are Ding Dongs? And what is a Ding Dong? Nobody cared. Nobody gave a flying fuck. It was... Ding Dongs is the absolute worst debut in wrestling history and probably the worst characters ever also. They're definitely worse than the Shockmaster and many others. So this ends my countdown, this top 5 worst debuts in wrestling. I did a top 10 best debuts in WWF history, WWE history. Check out that top 10 best debuts ever. In my opinion, it's on my countdown playlist. Hope you enjoyed this top 5 countdown. Follow me on Twitter at WWENXT Guy. Also, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my videos. I really appreciate that. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great weekend and Friday.